Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Morristown, Tennessee, on the campus of Walters State Community College. We're at Ken Campbell Field for today's doubleheader action between the Walters State Senators and the Pioneers of Volunteer State. This is game 2 of the 3-game series. Yesterday's game won in the late innings by the Senators, a grand slam off the bat of Daniel Ortiz, the third baseman. Delivered the only 4 runs needed for Walters State as they beat Vol State 4-1. Pioneers had the lead for the first 6.5 innings, 1-0 on a run scored in the first, an unearned run off of the eventual winner Carson Bonaparte, who moved to 8-1 on the season and lowered his ERA to 2.63 in 54 innings now. Caleb Pika delivered 6 shutout innings, scattering 4 hits and 3 walks, did not figure in the decision. Noah Ward, who came on for the last 2 innings, gave up 3 hits and a hit batter in the 7th. First 4 reached and scored for the number 16 team in the country, Walters State. They moved to 30-9 overall, 13-3 in conference play. Pioneers fell to 3-12 in conference play. You should see our umpires are here and the head coaches have met. Let's get to the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups. First for the visiting Pioneers of Volunteer State, an overall record of 13-19. Drew Plummer gets a start at second base, and he'll lead off. Zach Zimmerly in left field, batting second. Logan Molnar at shortstop, batting third. Cleanup hitter is Cannon Lewis, the DH. He had a couple hits in yesterday's game. Connor Paul back in the 5 slot at first base. Walker Strange at third base, batting sixth. Stephen Bell in right field, batting seventh. Reggie Cooper in center. He's going to hit eighth, and the ninth hitter in the lineup is catcher Lex Falsoni. He will be catching Caden Johnson, left-hander from Huntsville, Alabama. He is a redshirt sophomore, getting his 10th appearance of the year, 8th start. Has a complete game, including a no-hitter down in Millington. Has a 2-2 record and a save. 26 innings of work. He's got a 4.50 ERA. The Pioneers are coached by Jim McGuire in his 3rd year, assisted by Sam Folks, the pitching coach, and volunteer assistant coach is Shane Kemp. Both of those young men are in their 1st year with the Pioneers. Senators lineup with bats similar to yesterday. Miles Smith going to lead off, play center field. Daniel Ortiz at third base, batting second. Left fielder Jack Vogley will hit third. Logan Sutton in center field, the cleanup hitter. First baseman Walker Morgan batting 5th. Carson Cabbage behind the plate today for the Senators. He'll hit 6th. And the DH is Ethan Bosley batting 7th. Curtis Reed, the 8-hole hitter, he'll play shortstop again. Nate Connor back out in right field, batting 9th on the mound for the Walters State Senators. 6 foot, 185-pound freshman. He's a redshirt freshman from Ashburn, Virginia, Ethan Walker. He gets his 2nd start of the year, his 9th appearance. A 1-2 record and 16 innings of work, giving up 17 hits, 13 runs, only 10 earned. Has only walked 3 batters, struck out 20. A 5.63 ERA for Ethan Walker. We are
for our national
ready
anthem,
for the
singing
national
the
anthem.
national anthem today.
So we will be muted, so we won't get to hear the actual live performance.
Katie Kelly.
So
She is
muted as
student
Katie Kelly will sing the national
ambassador
anthem.
for the Sevierville campus.
And back home, Braxton Alexander says, play ball. Live performance of the national anthem both yesterday and today. Have not heard that this year. That's always nice to hear the live version. We are about set for baseball here in Morristown, Tennessee. If you're not familiar with Morristown, it is about 45 minutes north of Knoxville, up Highway 81, as you're heading to Virginia. So our starting pitcher for Walter State from Ashburn, Virginia, I'm not really sure how far. That could be very close. Did not check the map to see where Ashburn, Virginia was, but if Ethan Walker's family's listening in on my broadcast at the Vol State Sports Network, then feel free to email me at treesports@gmail.com and let me know that you're listening, where Ashburn is located. Appreciate you joining me today. Walter State has their broadcaster, Chuck Sebastian, that's here inside the press box, I think is the name of his outfit. So if you're looking for a home broadcast for Walter State, he's broadcasting today. I think you can get to his site on the Walter State Athletic online. So a little bit warmer day today than we had yesterday.
Second baseman, number 6, Drew Plummer.
Drew Plummer steps in, did not play in yesterday's contest, but will lead it off. Against Ethan Walker. Lefty delivers the first pitch in there for a called strike, and we are underway. Game time temperature 50 degrees, brought to you by Accurate Mortgage. Plum pops one up into shallow center field, and Miles Smith comes in, and he will make the catch for out number 1.
Left fielder, number 9, Zach Zimmerly.
Zach Zimmerly steps in. Zim was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. Had an infield single. Ground ball to deep third base that he was able to beat out. Ortiz at third base did not think that Zimmerly had beat that out as he swings and misses at a slow breaking pitch. Count goes no balls and 2 strikes. Zimmerly came into the series hitting .211. That goes up with a 1 for 4 performance yesterday. And swing and a miss. That's 3 strikes straight, 5 straight delivered by Ethan Walker.
Shortstop,
50
number
degrees
1,
feels like
Logan Molnar.
47. Never got above 47 yesterday. We had a feels like a 39 in yesterday's game. Logan Molnar with 2 outs and nobody on steps at the plate. He scored the only run of the game yesterday for Vol State, and that was in the first inning. He steps away from an inside fastball in the corner for a called strike. Logan 0 for 4 in yesterday's game. He reached on an error by the right fielder, swings and misses. Walker hadn't done anything but throw strikes. He's looking for an under 10 pitch inning. Molnar hit a fly ball out to right center field, and miscommunication out there between Connor and Smith. Ooh, Cabbage thought he had that breaky pitch for strike 3, but there's the first pitch out of the zone for the redshirt freshman. Fouled at the plate. On deck is Cannon Lewis, the DH. Molnar from Thompson Station, just south of Nashville, fouls one off to the right side. He's a sophomore, played his high school baseball at Independence high school down there in Williamson County. 1-2 pitch, misses outside. 6'1", 170 pounds. Starting shortstop for the second year in a row for the Pioneers. Last year did not start at the beginning of the year, but due to some injuries got in there in the starting role, I think, during the first conference series against Chattanooga State, probably about game 2. And then he was in for about 24 games as he grounds one up the middle. That'll get through into center field for a base hit. So Molnar takes the collar off for the weekend. Gets his first knock. 2 outs here in the first.
The designated hitter, number 30, Cannon Lewis.
That is Molnar's 26th hit of the year, which leads the Pioneers. Cannon Lewis, a couple hits in 3 official at-bats yesterday. Swings, flies one out to right field. Nate Connor looks like he's under it. He'll make the one-handed catch for out number 3. So first pitch swinging Cannon Lewis. Flies out to end the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors.
Stand is open for your
1 runner left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the first. We're scheduled for 7 innings. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. You're listening to the Ball State Sports Network.
Every day, all around the nation, people find themselves in need of a hero. Fire and emergency medical responders are those heroes we need. If you desire to make a difference in your community, visit ballstate.edu to learn more.
Have you ever wondered what happens when you click Buy It Now? A whole series of transactions take place, from the manufacturer to your front door.
That is logistics and supply chain management.
At Ball State, we offer end-to-end supply chain courses.
Going into the future, our students need to understand these processes.
A lot of business is dependent upon getting a product on time.
Students here at Ball State are able to leave here with that knowledge.
Because the supply chain
Is counting on me.
Tim Reese back at Morristown, Tennessee, on the campus of Walters State Community College. Caden Johnson out on the mound for his 8th start of the year, 10th appearance. 6'3", 200-pound redshirt sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama. Played his high school baseball at Sparkman High School. He's the son of Joe and Shayna Johnson, and a big brother to Miles. Hello to Granddaddy and Mimi down in Gadsden, Alabama. Big J in Lacey Springs, Alabama, and Nana in Panama City Beach. And I understand that I think Nanny is maybe up in Alabama and is not feeling well today, as learned during our D group meeting this morning with 5 of the guys, including Caden Johnson. And he asked for prayer for, I think he's called her Nanny, his great-grandmother there. So praying for Joe Sr. and Nanny today, in addition to a few other folks that we know about. Caden Johnson looking to throw some strikes today against these Senators. Try to stay away from those walks. That has been a bugaboo for him this year. 32 of them in 26 innings of work. And going to concentrate on trying to miss the barrel of the bat, but get it into a zone that at least the umpire will think is a strike. Miles Smith steps in. There is the first pitch that is apparently just a little bit outside. We have the radar gun that lights up behind. Here it gets call on that fastball inside corner as Miles Smith stepped away. Smith was 1 for 3 in yesterday's game, and also a walk, swings and misses on the fastball there. A couple 88s and an 87 for Caden Johnson, and he is right around that plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter, Miles Smith. And a foul tip into the mid of Falsoni, and that is the first strikeout for Caden Johnson.
Third baseman, number 27, Daniel Ortiz.
Daniel Ortiz steps to the plate. The big fly in yesterday's game also included a double. And the Grand Slam leads the conference in home runs with 11 and is second in RBIs at 43. Has to hop out of the way of that pitch. 4 RBIs in yesterday's game got him up over Jackson Diamond over at Columbia State. That's a fastball in there for a called strike. Breaking pitch misses down. Leading hitter on the squad is Jack Vogley, and he is standing on deck. There's another fastball that misses. Goes 3 balls and a strike. We did not see the sunshine yesterday at all, so that's a welcome sight. Fouled off as Johnson went right after one of the top hitters, not only in the conference but in the country. Daniel Ortiz going to get some looks during the baseball draft, no question. Full count Ministries, full count. And outside, not sure Ortiz necessarily is a guy you want to bite on too much on the outside. He obviously showed that he'll go the opposite way with power as he did yesterday to right center field on that grand slam. Jack Vogley steps in. He was 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch right in the helmet yesterday's game, stayed in the game. Ortiz bluffs. Johnson's first pitch again at the feet. Vogley looks at a strike. Johnson takes a little bit off of that. Vogley from the Cincinnati area, from Loveland, Ohio. Started out at the University of Cincinnati. It's a throw over to first base. Ortiz is back. 3 stolen bases and 6 attempts for Ortiz this year. Ortiz bluffs again, popped foul just to the right of the press box. MGM Industries foul ball, even though we are not looking out the custom windows at the press box at Tim Garrett Baseball Complex, provided by the MGM Industries. Joe Gaskins and Patrick Stewart. Throw over to first base. Connor Paul with the light tag on the back of Ortiz, who immediately gets off the base as Paul throws the ball back to Johnson. Normally you see runners wait till the pitcher gets on the rubber before they actually get their lead. Ortiz another bluff and another foul ball off to the right side. Count remains a ball, 2 strikes. Understand that the Walter State normal number 2 pitcher is having some physical issues. It's the 1-2 pitch, breaking pitch lands down. Vogley does not bite. Stopped by Falsoni there to keep Ortiz at first base. Dave Shelton, the head coach for the Senators, is in the third base coaching box area. He is well back, looking for hard shots off the bat of his hitters. Mike Korn, the recruiting coordinator, and assistant coaches manning the first base coaching box. Full count Ministries, full count again. 2 batters in a row. Runner does not go, and there's a ground ball. Fair ball's called by the home plate umpire down in the corner. They're going to send the runner. No, they're going to hold him up now as Zach Zimmerly gets the ball back in. The 10th double of the year, the 14th double of the year by Vogley. Puts runners at second and third. That was just right on the chalk. down the third base line. Nothing Walker Strange could do about that. There's that walk that right now is not looking good for the Pioneers, as runners are now at second and third with one out. Logan Sutton steps to the plate. Sutton from Knoxville, Tennessee. First pitch he sees is an 88-mile-an-hour fastball for a called strike. Sutton with 6 home runs, 35 RBIs. Played at Powell High School. Swing and a miss at a breaking pitch. Nice stop by Falsoni. Johnson looking for the strikeout. Trying to strand 2 runners. Caleb Pico was able to strand a couple runners in the first inning of yesterday's contest. He walked 2 batters, but got a strikeout of Jarrett Martin to finish the inning. There's a ground ball to third. Strange stays down on it. Doesn't even think about the runner at third base, and he's going to throw Sutton out at first, who gets an RBI ground out. Strange able to stay down on that ball. Looked like it might have been going to take a little higher hop, but it did not. Vogeley stays at second base. Walker Morgan, first baseman, steps in. He was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. First pitch he sees is in there for a called strike. Morgan from Montgomery, Alabama, Home Life Academy, where he played high school. 6'7", 230-pound redshirt freshman. Johnson took a little bit off of that one. It went low. Morgan hitting .339. Pops foul off to the right side. Ken Campbell Fields, 315 down the lines, 370 in the alleys, 385 to dead center field. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Falsoni makes the tag to complete the out. I did not put the other out up there. There's 2 quick outs, but Walters State scores 1 run on 1 hit. That 1-out walk came back to bite Johnson and the Pioneers. Walters State gets out to the 1-0 lead after 1. Take a break, be right back.
I took business management because I want to have my own business one day.
It was time for me to take that step and enroll in Vol State.
When a student comes to Vol State, they can leave here with knowledge that applies to all aspects of business.
A degree in criminal justice can help you find the exciting career that you've been looking for. As a member of law enforcement, as a crime scene investigator, a teacher in a classroom, a detective working on cases, a lawyer or judge, or nearly any job where you get to put the bad guys away. Learn more at volstate.edu.
Cybercrimes take place online, and companies need more well-trained workers to stop it.
Vol State is training me to help combat cybercrimes in the future.
We're training them for those type of jobs that are out there. Vol State CIT programs prepare students to earn industry standard certifications within the IT industry.
I choose Vol State because the future needs me now. My story could be your story.
Ethan Walker Left-hander to face Connor Paul, the left-handed hitting batter.
First baseman, number 32, Connor Paul.
Logan Molnar with a hit in the first inning, but Ethan Walker threw nothing but strikes, and he starts off Connor Paul with a strike. Paul fouls the first pitch he sees. Paul leading the team in hitting with a .354 average. It's one out to left field, sends Jack Vogley back. He backpedals and makes the catch.
Third baseman, number 17, Walker Strange.
Paul was 1 for 4, had the only RBI of the game in that first inning. Walker Strange steps in. Strange 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. Swings at the first pitch, flies one out to center field. Miles Smith should have no trouble with this, and he won't. So 3 pitches and 2 outs as Ball State jumping on the first pitch. Stephen Bell steps to the plate.
Fielder, number
Right
22,
fielder.
Stephen Bell.
Sophomore. He swings at the first pitch. Slow tapper to second base. Sutton fields and underhands. That's a 4-pitch inning for Ethan Walker. So a 1-2-3 inning. Retires the side for Vol State. I want to thank our supporters. Toyota of Gallatin, of course. Eric Carr, the general manager, and Jake Thompson, general sales manager. Johnny Lynn, the now head men's basketball coach, former head softball coach, and Coach McGuire went across the street where Toyota of Gallatin's located a couple of years ago and made contact with those top men at Toyota of Gallatin and worked out a deal where they would put up brand new scoreboards. I know at the Pioneer Field, that old scoreboard needed to be replaced, and it's a beautiful scoreboard they've put up there, and appreciate their support of Vol State Athletics, as they've also put up scoreboards in the Pickle Field House for women's and men's basketball. So a big shout out to our neighbors right across the street, Toyota of Gallatin, and also want to shout out Jersey Mike Subs, located on the other corner of the intersection on the east entrance of Volunteer State. Jersey Mike's a sub above. Wish I had one for between games today, I'll tell you. Going to get a little hungry. Greg Bender, the father of Ryan Bender, one of the pitchers here at Walter State 2 years ago, he brought his grill and brought the meat and grilled hamburgers. And Chuck Sebastian and I had hamburgers and hot dogs up here between games. Not today. First pitch delivered by Johnson is outside. Carson Cabbage leads off. He's the catcher. Takes a little bit off that one. It's in there for a called strike. Cabbage from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hickory Grove Baptist Christian School. 6'1", 200-pound freshman. Johnson missing now with 3 outside the zone, 3 balls and a strike. To Cabbage, who's hitting .333. It's his 18th game of the year, and he's going to draw a walk. There's that leadoff walk.
The designated hitter.
Ethan Bosley, the DH, steps in. Did not play in yesterday's contest. Freshman from Edgewood, Kentucky, Dixie Heights High School. I believe that's a suburb just south of Cincinnati. In there for a called strike. Believe so. I think I see that on I-71 heading north from Louisville. There's a bunt attempt that goes foul. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Bosley hitting .310, which on this team is toward the lower portion of the stat sheet. Playing in game number 15 of the year. His 7th start. No home runs and 9 RBIs. There's a throw over to first base. Pretty good move there by Johnson as had Cabbage leaning. Cabbage does not have a stolen base attempt this year. But I wouldn't put it past Coach Shelton to send him just to get him to second base. He does not go, and the breaking pitch misses outside. Johnson set. Couple looks to first and delivers a fastball high. On deck, Curtis Reed, the shortstop. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss, actually got a little piece of it. Just a hair of a tip. Lex Falsoni hangs on for the strikeout, 3rd strikeout for
number 9, Curtis Reed.
Johnson, and that'll bring Curtis Reed to the plate. Reed was 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. Looks at the first pitch fastball in there for a called strike. Wonder if they're going to be doing the same thing they did yesterday, where they're going to take pitches to make the starting pitcher work. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Reed hitting .241, starting and playing in his 37th game. In the dirt, Falsoni's throw down to second base. Molnar is going to be able to pick it up and throw Cabbage out, who got a little greedy right there. Oh, they're going to call time. How in the world was time called? They're going to say there was interference by the second baseman out there. Drew Plummer didn't get out of his way, I'm guessing. Now Coach McGuire is going to come out and chat with the base umpire, who I believe was our home plate umpire yesterday. So it's going to be a wild pitch that's going to get Cabbage to second. And then I'm guessing that Drew Plummer impeded Cabbage's ability to get to third base. It looked to me like Cabbage just got a late start. And Logan Molnar went out into left center field to get the ball that was not caught on the throw from Falsoni. It actually was in the turf and went out into left center field. Molnar went to retrieve it. It looked like Cabbage just got a late start as he all of a sudden saw that the ball was in left center field. Molnar came up and threw him out at third, but appears as though the base umpire is ruling runner interference on Drew Plummer. I was watching how far the ball got away, so I didn't see what Plummer was doing. Got to believe he wasn't laying on top of him, but it's not going to matter. Cabbage is going to end up at third base on the fielder interference. So a ball, and we'll move that runner over to third. Ball. I got 1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now I've got 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard here had 2-2 quickly. So Curtis Reed still at the plate. Now a runner at third base with 1 out. Fastball is high and away. Full Count Ministries, full count with the runner at third, who walked to start the inning. A strikeout to Bosley. And now Reed, full count, misses down low. And runner's now going to be at first and third. 3 walks in the inning, or in the game for Caden Johnson.
Right fielder, number 17, Nate Connor.
Just a case, I think, of trying to be too fine with it. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Nate Connor, the right fielder, steps to the plate. Johnson City, Tennessee, Science Hill High School, 6'1", 200-pound freshman. Also will get on the mound. He's a left-handed pitcher as well as a utility player. He does not swing the first pitch right down the can, as I think the instruction is take till you get a strike, maybe. Connor hitting .400. It's 1 for 3 yesterday's game with a walk. There's a throw over to first base. Reed will get back. Reed, he is a runner. See if he throws over again. He will. Reed had a stolen base in yesterday's contest. Now has 9 for the season in 9 attempts. I can't believe that he'd be standing there very long. He is not going here. And Connor, as he did yesterday, looks nonplussed about taking 2 strikes. Looks like he has no problem with that at all. Only struck out 9 times all year. Runner does not go until late, and that breaking pitch will get into the dirt. Reed should be credited with a stolen base there, as he had a delayed start. The runner's now at second and third, so there takes out the double play possibility. Ball State playing back to get the out. Johnson needs a strikeout here. Has 3 in the ball game, but 3 walks. There's a throw to second base. It gets over the head of Molnar. 1 run's going to score. Plummer will not make the throw over to third, so there is an error on Johnson that allows Cabbage to score and Reed to move down to third base. So 2-0 is the new score. Ball 2 to Nate Connor. So right now an unearned run, but depends on what Connor does. And after going 0-2, Caden Johnson has now run the count full, brought to you by Full Count Ministries. So a walk to lead off the inning. Wild pitch. Fielders interference, and now a base hit down in the corner. That's going to be extra bases for Connor. Stephen Bell gets it back in the infield, but an RBI double that now makes that run earned. And Walter State leads 3-0. That's the first hit of the inning. Second hit of the game. Both are doubles. Back to the top of the lineup, Miles Smith, who struck out. Three to nothing. There's a bunt up in the air. Walker Strange is going to come in and field it with his hand. Miles Smith is going to get called out at first base. On the play, Connor moves to third, but now 2 outs. Miles Smith thought he was safe. Mike Korn called him safe, but he's the first base coach. Ortiz steps to the plate. He walked and scored in the first. Ortiz hunting a 2-out RBI with Connor at third base. Fouls that one off the screen. Nice tailing fastball there at 87 miles an hour for Caden Johnson. High fastball, got up there, get that other strike. Foul ball up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. 2 outs, runner at third. Johnson reached back for a little bit there. Fastball at 89 miles an hour, according to their radar gun here. 1-2 pitch inside is try to move Ortiz off the plate. Standing on deck is Jack Vogley. Double down the third baseline in the first. A little bigger crowd coming in here on a Saturday. Sun's out, but they still got some blankets and winter coats. Breaking pitch misses outside. Another Full Count Ministries Full Count. Stay tuned after the game. We'll have Full Count Ministries verse of the game, or maybe even verses. Mimi's checked in with a verse as well today. Coming out of the Old Testament, we'll have something from Hebrews where we've been studying from. Popped up to the right side. It should be playable. Connor Paul over in foul territory, moving toward the fence, but he's going to make the catch for out number 3. But the Senators scored 2 on 1 hit. There was 1 error, did not figure into the scoring, as Nate Connor ended up getting an RBI double. Would have been 2 had the error not occurred. There was 1 runner left on base. We're through 2 innings, scheduled for 7, 3-0. Walter State leads. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network.
Every day, all around the nation, people find themselves in need of a hero. Fire and emergency medical responders are those heroes we need. If you desire to make a difference in your community, visit volstate.edu to learn more.
Have you ever wondered what happens when you click Buy It Now? A whole series of transactions take place, from the manufacturer to your front door.
That is logistics and supply chain management.
At Vol State, we offer end-to-end supply chain courses.
Going into the future, our students need to understand these processes.
A lot of business is dependent upon getting a product on time.
Students here at Vol State are able to leave here with that knowledge.
Because the supply chain
is counting on me.
We're all working in the cloud. But what really is the cloud? If you start pulling back the clouds themselves, you find out it's an infrastructure. Computer science is really computer engineering. Right now,
Middle Tennessee is quickly becoming.
Reggie Cooper, the center fielder, steps to the plate. Cooper from Stewart's Creek High School. Raises the arms. The first pitch misses inside. Cooper 1 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. Swings at that first pitch close to the plate, pops it up to the right side. Looks like it will be caught by Walker Morgan as he slams into the fence. He kept drifting and drifting and drifting. I thought that ball was going to end up on the other side of the fence, but 6'7" first baseman able to make the catch for out number 1. So both first basemen have made the last 2 outs in the ball game in foul territory. He swings at the first pitch, pops one up to the right side, but that will get out of play. Just land inside the bullpen for the Pioneers. Lex Falsoni, the number 9 hole hitter, looks to the mound and sees a pitch outside, way outside, by Ethan Walker. His second start of the year for Walter State. Falsoni sees another one high and outside. Falsoni's run that batting average up. Pops that one straight back. Now hitting .265. Hitting .289 before his 0 for 4 in yesterday's game. Now he's looking at a full count. Ministries full count. One out, nobody on here in the top of the third inning. Pioneers down 3-0. Grounds 1 to third. Ortiz on 2 hops. Gloves, a high throw. That'll get over Walker Morgan. And Falsoni's going to stay right on first base after the errant throw by Ortiz. So now an error for each team. This one actually puts a runner on. Pioneers' error was on the failed pickoff attempt down at second base. The fielder's interference probably, I'm not sure if that's considered an error on Plummer or not. I'd have to do some Googling. Plummer steps in, fouls the first pitch he sees. Definite difference between the two clubs' approaches at the plate. Fall State swinging early and often, and Walter State taking strikes. Plummer lets the changeup go by. Plummer flew out to center field in the second pitch he saw. Walker delivers another slow breaking pitch. Plummer was way ahead on. He's now down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Plummer, a redshirt freshman from Summit High School. Drives one down the left field line, and that's fair. Could be extra bases. Falsoni's going to cruise into third base. And the Pioneers have something cooking here in the top of the third. Blum gets a double here, his second of the year. Brings up Zach Zimmerly with 2 on and 1 out. Zimmerly struck out in the first. Got a ball wide of the zone there. Now 2 balls. Logan Molnar, who singled in the first, standing on deck. Zimmerly came in hitting .213. Swings it to 2-0 pitch. Definitely off speed there. Pioneers need a big hit right here. Get back in the ball game. Play Walter State 3-0 and turn into 10-0 real quick. Fouls that one off. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. They can string together hit after hit after hit. One of the top hitting teams in the country, top hitting team in the conference. Tapper, slow roller, and Falsoni's going to try to come in, and he's going to score as Ortiz tried to barehand that one. Could not. I'm going to say that's an infield single for Zach Zimmerly. Not the official score. I'm going to give him a hit. We don't have the official score up here, but we have 3 people who have to make a decision on that play.
Shortstop, number 1.
The other broadcaster and the young fella who's running the scoreboard has to make a decision. That's back-to-back hits brought to you by Hit After Hit. Molnar looks at a called strike at the letters. Hit After Hit, owned by Lem Pilkington over there in Nashville. Supporter of Vol State Athletics. There's a ground ball that gets into left field. Not sure why Plum held up there. He had to go on anything on the ground. But he ends up at third. And back-to-back-to-back hits brought to you by Hit After Hit. Go to hitafterhitonline.com. Sporting goods store in Nashville provides Pioneers with equipment. They got a sign out there on the outfield wall, so the leadoff error, or the one-out error, comes in to score. Now Cannon Lewis can get Vol State right back in this ball game with a big hit. Logan Molnar's now 2 for 2. 86-mile-an-hour fastball misses away. So Falsoni's run is an unearned run. No changing that. So he reached on an error by Ortiz. A high throw. Cannon Lewis could not do anything with that breaking pitch. Now down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He drives that one into right field. That'll get down right in front of Nate Connor, but Vol State will only be able to score 1 on that line drive. Cannon Lewis with his 3rd hit of the series. RBI single in the right. And it's back-to-back-to-back-to-back hits brought to you by Hit After Hit. Drew Plummer, who doubled earlier in the inning, comes in to score the 2nd run. And brings up left-handed hitting Connor Paul. Who flew out to left field. Breaking pitch stays inside. Paul, one of the leading RBI men, looks at a called strike. Cannon Lewis, who just picked up his 18th as the team lead. Connor Paul and Stephen Bell tied with 16. That's a strike. That's one of those borderlines right there. That not only was it a little bit outside, it might have been a little bit high, but looking at a 1 ball, 2 strike count, and sees that breaking pitch come across the plate, and I'm sure his eyes got pretty big right there. A well-placed ball right here. He could take the RBI lead. Breaking pitch misses low and away. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 out. Bases are loaded for the Pioneers here in the top of the 3rd inning. He swung at a pitch eye high right there. Could not hold up, and there went his RBI opportunity. Kicking himself as he goes back to the dugout. Walker Strange will step to the plate. That's the 2nd strikeout of the ball game for Walker. Got 3 walkers. Got a Walker Strange at the plate. We got an Ethan Walker on the mound and Walker Morgan at first base. First pitch swinging is Strange. He'll foul that one off and out of play. Strange flew out to center field in the 2nd inning. Couple hits trying to get over the Mendoza line. Grounds 1 foul toward the Senators' dugout. He's now down in the count 0-2. Ethan Walker trying to work out of an error and 4 straight hits by the Pioneers. They've scored 2. We've got the tying run at 3rd and the go-ahead run at 2nd. And they won't bring it in this inning as Strange swings and misses at the changeup as Walker comes back, strikes out 2 batters with the bases loaded. So 2 runs scored Have to check. I think one of those is going to be earned. I know that one won't be. 4 hits, 1 big error, and 3 runners left on base. But the Pioneers do get back into it. They matched the 2 that Walter State scored in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So thanks for more sponsors here. Line to line. We didn't have runners at the corners, I don't believe, in that inning. But Stephen Dotson over at line to line provided netting and padding in front of the dugouts and surrounding the bullpens back at Pioneer Field. Game Time Sports Fields, owned by Bill Marvitt. They do the infield dirt work and handled the TCCAA Region 7 conference tournament this past year. I would assume they'll be down at Columbia as well. So thanks to Bill Marvitt, Stephen Dotson over at Game Time Sports Fields and line to line, as they are providing support for the Pioneers in the field that these guys get to play on. Also had the Framework Athletics first run of the game. I missed that. Lex Falsoni scored that one on the RBI infield single by Zach Zimmerly. Framework Athletics, owned by Zach Duke and Ryan McDuffie. Zach Duke, former Major League pitcher, about 15 years, and landed in Gallatin. We are ready for the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3, 4, and 5 to face Caden Johnson, who gets the first pitch in there for a called strike. Vogel doubled down that 3rd base line, but he's going to pop this one up to the left side, see if it stays in. Got people moving around, and it will fall harmlessly to the grass. Thought that might be an easy out for Walker Strange coming in, but I wouldn't say the wind blew it that way, but no spectators harmed with that foul ball. 0-2 pitch. Johnson misses low and away. One-two pitch to the left fielder. He drives that one up the middle for a base hit, leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning. Went 0 for in yesterday's game, and he's got 2 hits here in game 1 of the doubleheader.
Number 25, Logan Sutton.
That's the 3rd hit of the day for Walter State. Pioneers have 5. Sutton, who grounded out to 3rd base, drove in the first run of the game for the Senators. Squares the bunt, pulls the bat back. This right here is what was happening yesterday. A fake bunt is what I would expect. I don't think there's a chance that the number 4 hitter is going to square around a bunt and actually bunt. So he's going to bunt until he gets a strike would be my guess. See if Logan Sutton has a sacrifice hit all year. He does not. Stepped off by Caden Johnson, I think. That'll be his one and only disengagement for this batter. Squaring around a bunt, daring him to throw a strike, and he throws an 81-mile-an-hour pitch right down the can. Guess what Logan Sutton did not do? Squared around, but he did not bunt. Bet you a lunch at McDonald's he doesn't square around this time. Oh, he's squaring. I just lost that bet. Don't ever bet. Corbin Overbay's joined me up here in the press box. I don't have a headset for him, but Corbin Overbay battling an injury. Getting out of the cold. He ain't no dummy. Squaring around the bunt. He is not this time. Misses outside. Don't bet, folks. Just when you think you know, you don't. Runner does not go. Drilled out to center field. Reggie Cooper thought he had a line on it, and then he had to take about 5 steps back, and he does make the catch for out number 1. Well hit ball by Sutton, but a little too much air there.
First baseman number 28, Walker Morgan.
He's now 0 for 2. Walker Morgan steps in. He's struck out to end the first inning. Reminds me of Cole McCallum from last year's team, who's now playing at Trevecca. I want to say he was, there might have been another first baseman too. They had 2 pretty large guys on their team. McCallum was one. McCallum's doing well at Trevecca. 1-0 pitch, misses down low. So 3 walks so far for Johnson. But he is staying in the zone this inning. Vogley led off with a line drive to center field. That catches the knees on the inside corner. And then Sutton drove one in the air to center field. Look over at first base. Runner does not go. Popped up to the right side. Stephen Bell. Looks like he has that. Vogley halfway off. Bell makes the catch for out number 2. And Carson Cabbage will step to the plate. He walked and had an eventful run around the bases. Cabbage, wild pitch to second base and then went to third on a fielder's interference. Drew Plummer was deemed to have been cheating out there at second base. Fastball apparently high to Cabbage. Looked like about the same height that it was on Connor Paul last inning. It's called a strike. Cabbage then scored on an errant pickoff play to second base. Caden Johnson trying to get Curtis Reed napping at second, but throw went off the glove of Logan Molnar. Cabbage came on home as he swings and misses there. But the batter at the plate, Nate Connor, ended up doubling down the right field line, so he would have scored anyway. Ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, delayed runner. They got the runner at first. Got to throw the ball quickly as Vogley is going to be tagged out by Connor Paul. That's that delayed steal that Curtis Reed did the last time, but Falsoni ended up throwing down to first base. I think that if Vogley had continued on to second, he might have been able to beat that throw from Connor Paul, but that is a 3-2 to 3 to 6 to 3. Caught stealing, I guess. It is not a pickoff as he was heading to second base. So that's the 3rd out. And Caden Johnson ends up facing only the minimum. We'll take a break, be right back on the Ball State Sports Network.
I took business management because I want to have my own business one day.
It was time for me to take that step and enroll in Ball State.
When a student comes to Ball State, they can leave here with knowledge that applies to all aspects of business.
A degree in criminal justice can help you find the exciting career that you've been looking for. As a member of law enforcement, as a crime scene investigator, a teacher in a classroom, a detective working on cases, a lawyer or a judge, or nearly any job where you get to put the bad guys away. Learn more at volstate.edu.
Cybercrimes take place online, and companies need more well-trained workers to stop it.
Ball State is training me to help combat cybercrimes in the future.
We're training them for those type of jobs that are out.
Emery's back at Walter State. We move to the top of the fourth inning. 3-2 is the score. Lefty Ethan Walker back out on the mound. Stephen Bell takes ball one. Bell grounded out to second. He's going to ground a ball to second base again. And that's 4-3 putouts for Bell. Reggie Cooper will step to the plate. He popped out to Walker Morgan at first base and made a nice play, and then semi-crashed into the fence down first base line. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Go ahead and put a yellow star by it. .85-mile-an-hour fastball misses outside. Walker's given up 5 hits. Struck out 3, 2 very big strikeouts at the end of the last inning as Cooper swings and misses at the off-speed pitch. Pioneers had bases loaded with only 1 out. Walker was able to strike out Connor Paul on a high fastball, and Walker Strange on a breaking pitch. That one's tapped down to third base. Ortiz gloves, steps, throws one in the dirt, and Reggie Cooper flying down there throws his hands up as though he was safe, but the umpire had a different opinion. Throw by Ortiz was in the turf, but dug out of there by Walker Morgan for out number 2. Lex Falsoni steps to the plate. He hit a ground ball to Ortiz in the third, and that's what started the 2-run rally. So Ortiz threw it, sailed it over the head of Walker Morgan at first base. So Falsoni fouls the first pitch off to the right side and sees a pitch down off speed. So Falsoni reached with 1 out, and then Drew Plummer, who stands on deck, doubled into left center field down the line. And Zach Zimmerly had a slow roller ground ball to the third baseman for an RBI single. Walker missing again. First couple innings, he couldn't miss the strike zone. Has yet to walk a batter, but 3-1 turns into a full count. Ministries full count. Corbin over at Bay missed the 2:42 full count D group meeting this morning. Could have had you. I could have got you a free breakfast, Corbin. Well, down the line, that hits off the base. Down the third base line, Falsoni is going to dig towards second base as Jack Vogley will get the ball back in. And that had a 1 hop and then hit the very back of the third base bag and went down the line. And there is another double. A Doodat double.
Second baseman, number 6.
Doodat Communications is Dave Shelton is now out of the dugout. That might be all she wrote for Ethan Walker. I'm not sure if it's Coach McGuire. He's coming to get the baseball. Dave Shelton, he doesn't send a pitching coach out. He's going to go out and get the baseball from Ethan Walker, who ends up going 3 2/3. Gives up 6 hits. Right now, 2 runs. Did not walk a batter, struck out 3. But the runner on second base is his responsibility. Did not go far enough in the game to figure into the decision. So we'll have a pitching change for Walter State. We'll tell you about the new pitcher as soon as we come back on the Ball State Sports Network.
I took business management because I want to have my own business one day.
It was time for me to take that step and enroll in Ball State.
When a student comes to Ball State, they can leave here with knowledge that applies to all aspects of business.
A degree in criminal justice can help you find the exciting career that you've been looking for. As a member of law enforcement, as a crime scene investigator, a teacher in a classroom, a detective working on cases, a lawyer or judge, or nearly any job where you get to put the bad guys away. Learn more at volstate.edu.
Pitching change for Walter State is Drew Horn on in relief of Ethan Walker. Horn on for his 11th appearance of the year, 10th in relief. 13 2/3 innings, give it up 9 hits, 8 runs, 5 are earned. Walked 8, struck out 21 batters. A 3.29 ERA, and he is on in relief here with 2 outs and 1 on. In the top of the 4th inning, that's the tying run. Lex Falsoni just lined, hard shot down the third base line, took one hop and then hit the back. Looked to me like it hit the back of the third base bag and jettisoned. How about that word? That's not even the word for the day. I didn't tell you I had a word or a couple words for the day that the eccentric Garrett Bruce gave me. So I'll see if I can work. Now it's 1. He gave me eccentric as well, and I think he was self-describing himself. He's from California. They were just playing California. Song Beach Boys. That relief pitcher Garrett Bruce gave me a word for the day. Jettisoned is not it. But it looked like it gained speed as it got off that third base bag. But Lex Falsoni's now 1 for 2. Plummer also 1 for 2. He had double down that left field line. He swings at the first pitch. He sees, fouls it off to the right side, just past the bullpen. Drew Horn from Smyrna, Tennessee, Siegel High School, redshirt freshman, 5'11", 180 pounds. Plummer, the leadoff batter for Pioneers. Slider misses outside. See if we can get that scoreboard working again. In the third, Plummer, Zimmerly, Molnar, and Lewis all had base hits. Plummer's double, Zimmerly's infield single, Molnar's single in the left field, and Cannon Lewis's RBI single to right with bases loaded, but left 3 on. Now down to last strike here in the inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Plummer fouls a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. That's the fastest pitch we've seen this weekend. Saw Noah Ward hitting 90 on that yesterday. Relief pitcher for Ball State. Probably wasn't paying as much attention when Carson Bonaparte was out there on the mound for some reason. But Falsoni leads off a second. Ground ball foul. Coach McGuire, no attempt. Made his first play of the year yesterday on an extremely slow roller to third base. Figured he could handle that one without getting a finger broke, which is a smart move. I'm not denigrating Coach McGuire at all in that way. Breaking pitch, curves right around that inside corner, and Drew Plummer not expecting that call to be made, but he was surprised at the strike 3 call as Horn comes in and retires the only batter he faces in the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. It's 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Let's see if we can thank a few other folks, as we like to do. Appreciate those folks that have helped us with the press box remodel, as we spend quite a bit of time there. Corbin Overbay doesn't. He's normally out on the field, but during his rehab, he might spend a little bit of time up at the press box. MGM Industries for the custom-made windows, Right Rug Flooring for the flooring, carpeting, and the installation. Dudat Communications, Craig Sinnard for their signage, not only in the press box but also in the locker room as well. And Coca-Cola for the little mini fridge that we have in there. Put some Coca-Colas in there, as a matter of fact, some Sprites and Zero Coke Zeros. I'm a CFDC man myself. Caffeine-free Diet Coke. Thanks to Amos Blake, a friend of mine who donated that little mini fridge. I know Coach McGuire takes advantage of those drinks. There's even some waters that'll show up inside there, but appreciate them for their assistance and support of Vol State baseball. Move to the bottom of the fourth inning. 6, 7, and 8 due up to face Caden Johnson.
Carson Cabbage.
Johnson ended up with a 1-2-3 inning. Kind of a backwards way as Jack Vogley was caught stealing on a delayed steal. Lex Falsoni threw behind him at first base as he was caught in the middle of the between first and second. There's Cabbage taking a get-over fastball for a strike. They're trying to get that pitch count for Caden Johnson up. I don't have a pitch count up here. Yesterday, I was told after the game, Caleb Piquet had 115 pitches thereabouts in 6 innings. He looked okay this morning at the 242 meeting. Yeah, he looks a little relaxed on day 2 after he pitches. I'm sure John and April, his parents back home, his dad was teaching a math class. Caleb said he probably had the game on the last hour of class. Full Count Ministries, full count to Carson Cabbage, ball 4. Cabbage walks for the second time. That is the 4th walk of the game for
number 36, Ethan Bosley.
Caden Johnson. Is now 36 on the season. He's pitching in his 30th inning. Ethan Bosley, the DH, he struck out his first plate appearance. Looks at a called strike right down the can. Let's see if Caden Johnson can throw something that will allow Bosley to ground into a doodad double play. He squares the bunt and does get the bat on this one. But fouls it back. He did that the last time. Oh, 2 pitch. Just got a piece of that one, and it also got a piece of Falsoni behind the plate. So home plate umpire will take a little stroll out. Talk to Caden Johnson, ask him what he's thinking about having for his after-game meal. Corb, what do you think Caden Johnson said? I bet he said Chick-fil-A. He probably said some chicken minis. Get him a box of 10. That's what he eats at Chick-fil-A on Friday mornings, isn't it? Bosley did not have a sacrifice hit all year. Falsoni has an 89-mile-an-hour fastball that extends his arm toward his dugout. Count now goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bosley came in hitting .310. Couple doubles, looks at a breaking pitch for a called strike. Bosley might have thought that was going to end up low, but
The shortstop, number 9, Curtis Reed.
That's the first strikeout since the last time he struck out Bosley. That's 4 now for the game. And Curtis Reed steps to the plate. Walked, stole second, and later scored. Drills one high to left field. Zach Zimmerly has no idea where it is. Good thing it's going to leave the yard, but it's going to be foul. Zach had no idea where that ball was. He's looking up in the air, and I'm thinking, Why are you not running to your right, son? And he looks into the infield, and Molnar tells him, you're about 100 feet away from it. But it landed foul. It would not, I don't think, have been out of the park over the fence for a home run. I don't think it was hit far enough for that. As I said, 3:15 down the line. And it starts going out pretty quick. I'd say it's probably 3:30 or 40 behind where Zimmerly is. Changeup misses down low. That's a melancholy moment, as we would say. You know the ball has hit your way, but you have no idea where it is. Swing and a miss. Changeup tailed away from Reed. Talked to Greg Bender, the father of Ryan Bender, relief pitcher for Walter State, and he was telling me, as I was telling you yesterday, he was reaffirming that Curtis Reed's father, Danny Reed, did in fact play baseball at Belmont. So maybe if they're here, I'm going to meet Danny Reed. They have two Belmont alums shake hands between games, but not sure if the Reeds are here or not, down from Cincinnati area. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside. We'll have a full count. Ministries full count. On deck, Nate Connor. Action in the Pioneer bullpen. That's going to catch the inside corner, and down goes Reed. So back-to-back, backward K's in the books for Caden Johnson. And Reed not happy. So he heads back to the dugout. Nate Connor steps in with 2 outs and a runner at first. Leadoff walk, still standing at first base, Carson Cabbage. Connor doubled down the right field line. He took several pitches. He took the first 2. And they were right down the can. He had no notion of swinging at hit the first 2 pitches. It's almost like he wants to be at the plate with 2 strikes. And there he takes another cookie right down the middle. And Connor, as I said, looks very comfortable batting with 2 strikes. Delayed steal. Pitch is called a ball. Falsoni's throw is not in time. That's the 3rd time that I've seen, maybe even the 4th time, that their stolen bases are not straight steals. They're waiting to make sure that Johnson delivers the pitch to the plate. Carson Cabbage picks up a stolen base. That's his first of the year. In his first attempt. I'm sure that was a case of if you get thrown out, we got Nate Connor leading off. Just missed with that one. Count goes 3 balls and a strike. Connor seems like just another leadoff batter. Batting 9th, but hitting .400. And when he catches the outside corner, go to a full count. Ministries full count. Connor was 1 for 3 in yesterday's game with a walk. 1 for 1 so far here. Looks at a full count. Ministries full count. He fouls it off to the left. Spoils a pitch from Caden Johnson. Miles Smith, the leadoff batter, is on deck. Johnson looks back at second and delivers. Hooked foul just to the left of first base coach Mike Korn. Really didn't come close to him, but Korn is sometimes a bit theatrical, and he jumps out of the way of that ball. Now, he would try to make a play on a ball hit at him. I think 2 days in a row that he pitched batting practice, probably threw 400 pitches each day. Pretty good shape. Slow roller to second. Plummer will glove and underhand to Connor Paul for the third out. So Kane Johnson works around the leadoff walk to Carson Cabbage. Gets out of the inning. He is through 4 innings. In his last start went 3 1/3 against Dyersburg State. Did not give up a hit, but 2 runs. Walked 6 batters in that game. That's what we're trying to get away from in this game, but so far he's got 4 in 4 innings. Only giving up 3 runs. We head to the 5th. We're only scheduled for 7 innings, so Yogi Berra says it gets late early here in these double headers. So we are headed to the top of the 5th inning. Drew Horn back out on the mound for Walter State. Came on in relief of Ethan Walker in the 4th. So Walker ends up giving up only the 2 runs. 1 is earned. So he goes 3 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Not in line for the win, as he did not go. I think you need to go 4 innings in a 7-inning contest, and he went 3 2/3. So Drew Horn right now is the pitcher of record. He is 0-1 on the season with a 3.29 ERA in those 13 innings. So Coach Dave Shelton will see how long he can ride Drew Horn, but he's got a whole bunch of other pitchers in the in that bullpen if he needs any of them. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Pioneers. Zimmerly's 1 for 2. Had an infield single. It drove in a run. That drove in our Framework Athletics first run of the game. 93-mile-an-hour fastball in there for called strike at the knees. Zimmerly sends one right back where it came from. He's now 2 for 3. Leadoff single. First time that's happened in the ball game.
The shortstop, number 1, Logan
Molnar. Logan Molnar is 2 for 2. Single up the middle right where Zach Zimmerly went, and single to left field between short and third. Throw over to first. Walker Morgan's got to lean over Zimmerly as he dove back in to collect that throw. Zimmerly had a leadoff infield single in yesterday's 6th inning. Molnar looks at another fastball at the knees. Called strike. Seventh hit of the ball game for the Pioneers. They lead on that front. 3 hits for Walter State, but Walter State leads in the important category. Molnar squares the bunt, pitches inside. He's got to pull away. Ortiz was ready for that. He was halfway to home. Pitch was inside. That would have been a tough pitch to try to push bunt towards second base, which would be the call right now, as Logan Sutton, the second baseman, playing well over toward the second base bag. You see him in the camera shot right there. Another square around the bunt. He lays one down. This is going to be fielded by Horn. He comes up, throws on to first base. That's clearly a sac bunt for Logan Molnar. That's Molnar's second
The
sacrifice
designated
of the
hitter,
year.
number 30, Cannon Lewis.
Zimmerly moves down to second base with one out. Cannon Lewis has an RBI single in the third. Flew out to right in the first. Has another RBI opportunity here. Sutton moves toward the bag, but then gets back. Breaking pitch misses down. Cabbage keeps it in front. If you weren't with us yesterday, the infield surface is artificial. Outfield is all natural grass. Should get good hops to infielders. Might be a little bit quick at times. Sutton continues to try to work Zimmerly back. The fastball 91 at the knees. He's placing that fastball in a nice spot right there. Shortstop Reed now moving over. Sutton, both middle infielders. Zimmerly on what, a hit and run, I guess. Fouled off, and Zimmerly had a really good jump. Lewis clearly trying to go to the right side. Had a successful hit and run last weekend against Dyersburg State, where the Pioneers picked up 2 wins, trying to get the sweep, but lost game 3 in the series. Ball State trying to come back here in game 1 of the doubleheader. Both infielders trying to keep Zimmerly in place, and Cannon Lewis cannot hold up on that breaker. Second strikeout for Horn, and the second out of the inning. It's Connor Paul at the plate. He struck out on a full count
number 32,
pitch on a
Connor
high
Paul.
fastball. He got way too good a look at it because it was eye high. He's 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the ball game. Sutton now moves way over towards second base. Paul looks at a called strike. Sutton now back to up the middle. Now he runs all the way back to as though Paul was a pull hitter. What they don't know is that Connor Paul does not pull the ball. He loves going to that left field side right between short and third. I would think he's going to try to shoot one there, and Drew Horn wasn't going to allow that as he buried one on his hands. So the tying run at second base. Walter State with 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Ball State with 2 in the third. We are at 3-2. Over the head of the pitcher, Reed, gloves with his hat flying off. Connor Paul. We got a catcher's interference call is what we got. Zach Zimmerly's going to have to head back to first base. Connor Paul, he wasn't running the first. I'm thinking, again, why is Connor Paul slowing down? And the reason he was because he knew that he hit the glove of
third baseman number 17,
the
Walker
catcher.
Strange.
So that'll be an error on the catcher as catcher's interference. It's not an at-bat for Connor Paul. And now runners are at first and second, and Walker Strange gets another opportunity to drive in runs. Sees a breaking pitch chin high. Strange 0 for 2, fly out and a strikeout. That one yanked low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the Pioneer third baseman from Knoxville, Tennessee. Corbin, what part of Knoxville is Walker Strange from? Do you know?
He went to CAK High School.
Okay, but CAK, he drives one into the gap in right field. They're going to send Zimmerly. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. Zimmerly gets his hand underneath the tag. Dave Shelton out to have a chat with the home plate umpire. But that is an RBI single for Cannon Lewis. Ties this ball game up. As the throw was there, and the tag came just at the time that Zach Zimmerly was supermaning toward home plate. It looked like he might have just slipped that hand over or under the tag.
Right fielder.
Connor Paul's going to end up at second base, so that's going to be an unearned run due to the catcher's interference extending the inning. And it's 3-3. Stephen Bell's at the plate. He slips one through the left side. Coach McGuire going to hold the runner there, and we're going to have bases loaded. Stephen Bell goes oppo taco there. That's that spot that Connor Paul likes. And maybe that's where Connor was trying to go on the catcher's interference. But we have back-to-back hits again. With the Pioneers, brought to you by Hit After Hit. Ball State with bases loaded yet again. Reggie Cooper steps to the plate. Cooper with the team lead in home runs with 3. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Walter State with the conference lead. They have lapped the field in home runs. They have 71, I believe. Fall State, not that many. 13 home runs. Daniel Ortiz, the third baseman for Walters, has 11 on his own. But all it takes is one right here from Reginald, call me Reggie Cooper. Strike at the knees. He throws that fastball. It's at the knees. And he's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Connor Paul at third. Walker Strange at second. Stephen Bell at first base. Off-speed pitch misses inside. You got to be careful with that pitch right there. You start backing away, and home plate umpire got a little bigger zone there on that inside corner than you might think. Cooper with 8 RBIs on the season, looking to get into double digits here. Not going to have a chance on that fastball, and we'll have runners on the move on this Full Count Ministries full count. Alex Falsoni hoping to get an AB here in the inning. Drew Horn giving up 3 hits in the inning. Runners go. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and down goes Cooper. Horn with 2 strikeouts. Well, 1 run. It was unearned. 3 hits. Count that error on the catcher's interference. 3 more runners left on base. That's 8 for the ball game after 5 innings, and we're all tied up as Caden Johnson comes back out on the mound for the Pioneers. We'll take a break. Be right back on the Ball State Sports Network.
Every day, all around the nation, people find themselves in need of a hero. Fire and emergency medical responders are those heroes we need. If you desire to make a difference in your community, visit ballstate.edu to learn more.
Have you ever wondered what happens when you click Buy It Now? A whole series of transactions take place, from the manufacturer to your front door.
That is logistics and supply chain management.
At Vol State, we offer end-to-end supply chain courses.
Going into the future, our students need to understand these processes.
A lot of business is dependent upon getting a product on time.
Students here at Vol State are able to leave here with that knowledge.
Because the supply chain
is counting on me.
One, 2, and 3 scheduled for the Senators from Walter State. Miles Smith, Denny Ortiz, and Jack Vogley to face Caden Johnson back out for the 5th.
The center fielder, number 1, Miles Smith.
It's been since February 24th that Caden Johnson got into the 5th inning, and that was his no-hitter against Elgin Community College. Misses high and outside with the breaking pitch there. Smith is 0 for 2. Struck out and retired on a bunt attempt. Swings and misses that disappearing fastball. Miles Smith not having the same approach as Nate Connor does. Takes basically till he gets 2 strikes. Smith swinging at something that's across the plate. So Pioneers tied up in the top of the 5th. Breaking pitch. I want to check down at first base. He says he did not go. I think Caden Johnson thought it might have been a called strike, but going to have another full count. Ministries full count to the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 5th. Slow roller out to Plummer. 2 hops, gloves, throws, and retires Miles Smith. Had a slow swing on that one.
Third baseman, number 27,
to get
Daniel
to the plate.
Ortiz.
Didn't see the miles per hour on that to see if it was a changeup, or it didn't look like a big breaker, but rolls out. Daniel Ortiz steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. He's in scoring position when he gets to the batter's box. 11 home runs this year. I want to say he had 17 or so last year. I think he was second in the conference to Jace Mizell, who won the home run title. Swing and a miss on a change up there. Ortiz has to dance away from that one. Corbin Shaw, I believe, was their first baseman last year. Maybe that's who I'm thinking that Walker Morgan looked like. Fastball inside. 3 balls and a strike. Ortiz had 16 home runs a year ago, 55 RBIs. 55 RBIs didn't lead the team. Pops that one up on the right side. Should be playable. Plummer's got his glove up. Stephen Bell's going to come in and bail out the infielders and make the catch. Good job. That's what an outfielder's supposed to do. Come in and call everybody off. Fly out to right field and
Left fielder,
shallow
number 13,
right field.
Jack Vogley.
Here ago, the Walter State Senators hit .348 for the season in 61 games. Time called as Caden Johnson's doing a little 2-step out there. Not sure what he's doing. Something. Stephen Bell had an issue out there at right field. But Vogley, who's 2 for 2 in this game, looks at a first pitch out of the zone. Fastball misses in. 2 balls and no strikes to Vogley. Leading hitter in the conference. 443 coming into today's game. Nate Connor was second at 400. Yeah, there's a strike. 5th inning of work for Caden Johnson. I'm guessing he is getting close to the 100 pitch mark. Just a bit inside there. C.J. Robertson 3rd in the conference at 394 in a tie with Braxton Baird at Columbia State. Must be percentage points ahead. And Brock Ballou at 5th at 387. There's a drive down to left field. Zach Zimmerly's going to make a diving attempt, but he will not get to that. Nothing lost as Jack Vogley, first baseman Connor Paul, apparently gets in front of Jack Vogley, but there's no chance he was going to go to 3rd on that play. But Mike Korn is first base coach calling for maybe a fielder interference again, but Jim McGuire out on the field. That means there's going to be a change of hands of the baseball, and Caden Johnson will be taken out of this ball game. And we will have a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen. We'll take a break, tell you about the new pitcher. We return on the Ball State Sports Network.
Every day, all around the nation, people find themselves in need of a hero. Fire and emergency medical responders are those heroes we need. If you desire to make a difference in your community, visit ballstate.edu to learn more.
Have you ever wondered what happens when you click Buy It Now? A whole series of transactions take place, from the manufacturer to your front door.
That is logistics and supply chain management.
At Vol State, we offer end-to-end supply chain courses.
Going into the future, our students need to understand these processes.
A lot of business is dependent upon getting a product on time.
Students here at Vol State are able to leave here with that knowledge.
Because the supply chain
is counting on me.
Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Number 24, Brett Dowling, 6'2", 195-pound sophomore from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Attended Green Hill High School. He is on in relief of Caden Johnson. Goes 4 2/3 innings. Dowling on for his 12th appearance of the year, all in relief. 15 innings of work, 12 hits, 17 runs, 15 of them earned. 20 walks, 23 strikeouts. He has hit 3 batters, as a 9.00 ERA, and he is on to see if he can get one quick out here in the 5th inning. Keep this game tied. Runner on second base is a double by Jack Vogley. He is 3 for 3 on the day, and that'll raise his .443 batting average up a little bit. See how many hits on the year Vogley now has. That's the 50th hit of the year for Vogley. His 15th double. Caden Johnson gives up 4 hits in the ball game. Right now, 3 runs. All of those are earned. He walked 4 batters, struck out 5. Did not hit a batter. Right now, he's the pitcher of record. Is that runner at second base is his responsibility. He cannot get the win, but he could get the loss. Logan Sutton's going to step in. Right-hander versus right-hander. Sutton 0 for 2. Ground out and a fly out. Dowling can rush it up there at about 90 miles an hour, but sometimes he's not sure where it's going. Gets that one, a changeup. Or at least he took something off that fastball, and the first pitch swinging was Sutton. I guess he was looking for that cookie right down the Broadway, and that swing right there did not look like a good swing on a first pitch strike. Dowling yanks one outside. There's a fastball. Sutton, the second baseman. On deck, Walker Morgan. Fly ball out to right field. That'll get out of play. And Dowling gets ahead in the count. The ball and 2 strikes. Sutton came in hitting .385. 6 home runs, 35 RBIs. Hitting in the cleanup spot. And he's going to take one in the back. 4th hit batter of the year for Brett Dowling.
First baseman, number 28,
now at first
Walker
and second.
Morgan.
Walker Morgan steps to the plate. 339, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs, 6'7". Walker Morgan. hitting with runners at first and second with 2 outs. Fastball above the letters for ball 1. Morgan struck out in the first, flew out in the third. Now looking at a 2-ball, no strike count. Mimi down in Gadsden, Alabama, still dialed in on the Vol State Sports Network. There's a strike at the knees. Get me over fastball at 85. Caden Johnson got the first 2 outs here in the 5th and gave up a double to Jack Vogley. A diving attempt by Zach Zimmerly in left field, but it was a foul ball at the plate. Dowling has fought back. Vogley ended up pulling into second base on a double as Zimmerly was up pretty quickly and was not too far away from the ball as it got all the way to the fence. Got the ball back in the infield. Vogley apparently ran into Connor Paul, who was trailing the play, but I think he was actually in front of Vogley. 2-2 pitch. Tapper foul toward the Walter State dugout. So Connor Paul was actually leading Jack Vogley toward second base, as maybe he was thinking that Vogley didn't know where he was going. And so he said, "Come on this way, Jack." And Jack ran into him, but don't think he was going to be, he had the opportunity to go to third on that line drive. But he's now at second with a huge lead, and Dowling sees that and he steps off and does not throw, but that's his one and only disengagement allowed for this batter. Logan Molnar is going to work him. They're expecting Morgan to not be able to get around on him. Runner gets a big lead. Breaking pitch looked a lot closer than I think Lax Falsoni thought it was. He stood up pretty quickly. I think he thought that Vogley was going to try to steal, but with a full count Ministries, full count with 2 on and 2 out. So the runners will be on the move with the pitch. So you get a ball in a gap and 2 runners are going to score. And there's ripped to the Senators' dugout. I hope that hit netting before it hit the guys who were standing right at it. But that was absolutely smoked. Corbin Overbay says that's 106 off the bat.
Was it?
I have no idea. No, you're supposed to be my, what do they call that? Some get the velo guy. Full count pitch again. Runners take off. Fisted. That will drop into right field right off the knuckles. 1 run's going to score, and they're going to have runners at first and third. And Walter State goes up 4-3 on the RBI single by Morgan. That run is charged to Caden Johnson. Sutton, who was running on the play, moves all the way over to third base. Good pitch by Dowling. Keaton Ray's going to step in.
Fans pinch hitting for Walter State, number 16, Keaton Ray.
Keaton Ray pinch hitting yesterday's game for the DH. Today he's pinch hitting for the catcher, Carson Cabbage, who's walked twice. Looks like we got another pinch hitter standing on deck. Strike called to Ray, second-year player with the Senators. Fastball misses out. 2 outs. Keaton Ray playing his 29th game, hitting .359. 23 hits, Over half of them are for extra bases. 5 doubles, 7 home runs. Will not be able to pull the trigger on that fastball that catches the inside corner. Ray struck out looking in his only appearance in yesterday's ball game. From Evansville, Tennessee, and Ray County, Tennessee, fouls that one off the screen. Standing on deck is Zion Taylor. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Keaton Ray strikes out again. And that will end the inning, but Walter State goes ahead 4-3. And we will head to the top of the 6th. We're scheduled for 7 here at Walter State. Be right back after this short break.
I took business management because I want to have my own business one day.
It was time for me to take that step and enroll in Vol State.
When a student comes to Vol State, they can leave here with knowledge that applies to all aspects of business.
A degree in criminal justice can help you find the exciting career that you've been looking for. As a member of law enforcement, as a crime scene investigator, a teacher in a classroom, a detective working on cases, a lawyer or a judge, or nearly any job where you get to put the bad guys away. Learn more at volstate.edu.
Cybercrimes take place online, and companies need more well-trained workers to stop it.
Vol State is training me to help combat cybercrimes in the future.
We're training them for those type of jobs that are out there. Vol State CIT programs prepare students to earn industry standard certifications within the IT industry.
I choose Vol State because the future needs me now. My story could be your story.
Tim Reese back on the Vol State Sports Network. Lex Falsoni will lead off for the Pioneers in the top of the 6th.
The catcher,
tying
number
the
15,
score
Lex Falsoni.
in the 5th. Walter State comes back with 1 in the bottom of the 5th to take the lead. And Falsoni facing Drew Horn looks at a slider, or at least a two-seam fastball at 91 miles an hour. We're called strike. Jarrett Martin is the new catcher for Walter State. Coming on for Carson Cabbage, who was pinch hit by Keaton Ray. Martin started and caught the whole game yesterday. That ball gets by him. He's not worried about it as there's nobody on base. Falsoni reached on an error and scored in the 3rd and doubled and was stranded at 2nd in the 4th. 1 for 2. That fastball is dialed up there at 92, but it is out of the zone. Count goes 3 balls and a strike. Wonder if Falsoni gets on base, if he would be pinch run for. We're going to find out as he draws the walk. Been on all 3 times that he's been to the plate. First walk for Horn, who's now pitched to all 9 batters. He will face
second
Drew
baseman,
Plummer.
number 6.
Falsoni's going to stay in over there at first base. As the tying run, Plummer 1 for 3. Dave Shelton out of the dugout. Slow walk to the mound, and the entire infield is going to join him there for the words of wisdom from the head coach, longtime coach here for the Walter State Senators. Let's see if we've got any scores The Lady Pioneers split the doubleheader yesterday. And one pitch after I predicted it, we do have a pinch runner at first base for Lex Falsoni. Brady Nepper, our Jersey Mike's first sub of the game. Brady Nepper, pinch run.
Fans entering the game.
No
as
change
a pinch
on the
runner,
mound.
Number
Dave
3,
Shelton.
Brady Nepper.
Maybe talking about some defense right here as Drew Plummer probably will be asked to lay down a bunt. Logan Molnar has a sacrifice bunt already on the afternoon, but we'll see if Plummer is asked. Denny Ortiz thinks he is. Pitch is low and away. Nepper able to get back. Plummer playing in his 17th game of the year, does not have a sacrifice on the year. Not sure if he's attempted one or not, but he handles the bat pretty well. See if he will square around. He's going to lay one down. That'll get back to Drew Horn. He's going to throw over to Walker Morgan, who then has to find the base. And he does. Route number 1. So the sack moves Nepper to second.
The left fielder, number 9, Zach Zimmerly.
Another 1-3 sack bunt. And Zach Zimmerly steps in. He's 2 for 3. Infield single and then led off the 5th with a solid shot right back up the middle. Just to pull away from a breaking pitch. On deck, Logan Molnar. Dave Shelton checking down with the bullpen. I can't see the bullpen from the roof of what I assume is not only the dugout, but the clubhouse or the locker room for Walter State. Fastball misses out. Dave Shelton was checking down there with the bullpen to see if whoever he's got down there is ready, and that's the international sign is, do you raise your hat up and say, is he ready? And whoever's on the other end, they raise their hat to say yes. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed by Zimmerly. It's the second time that Zim swung at a 2-0 pitch. Kind of wondering if at this point you're not in a mindset of let's take a strike. If he wants to walk us, we'll let him do it. And he's a pitch away now from walking another batter. And I got to believe if he allows Zimmerly to get on, he's not going to stay in the ball game to pitch to Logan Molnar. Zimmerly waving that bat, waiting for the pitch. He grounds one right back to Horn, who's got Nepper, but Nepper able to get back to second base. He looked him back and throws to first base for out number 2. Nepper stays at second base. Logan Molnar is going to have to drive him in.
Shortstop,
with
number
2
1,
outs.
Logan Molnar.
He's 2 for 2. Singled in the first, singled in the third, and laid down a sacrifice bunt, just as Drew Plummer did. Did that and move Zimmerly to second, who eventually scored, and Molnar swings and misses. Zimmerly with a bang-bang play at the plate scored the tying run in the last inning in the 5th on a softly hit single to right field by Walker Strange. Nate Connor came in and made a nice throw. That ball's missed on the swing, and Nepper will move down to third base on the pass ball. So now Nepper is 90 feet away from tying this ball game. Get another pass ball or a wild pitch, and this game will be tied. On deck, Cannon Lewis hoping to get an at-bat here in the 6th. There it is. There's the wild pitch that's going to tie this ball game up. Horn yanked that pitch. Right now, that is an unearned run. Depending on what Logan Molnar does, the pass ball is essentially an error on the catcher. So the error moved him over to third, but we're all tied up 4-4. And a swing and a miss. One pitch too late for the Senators. Sets down Molnar. So one unearned run. 3 of their 4 runs are unearned. There's no hits. One error on the pass ball. And nobody left on base. So we'll have a new catcher in the ball game. Looks like it might be Drew Plummer that's going to get behind the plate. And we'll have a new second baseman out there. We'll tell you about him when we return on the Vol State Sports Network.
I took business management because I want to have my own business one day.
It was time for me to take that step and enroll in Vol State.
When a student comes to Vol State, they can leave here with knowledge that applies to all aspects of business.
A degree in criminal justice can help you find the exciting career that you've been looking for. As a member of law enforcement, as a crime scene investigator, a teacher in a classroom, a detective working on cases, a lawyer or a judge, or nearly any job where you get to put the bad guys away. Learn more at volstate.edu.
All tied up at Walter State. Ball State trying to pick off the number 16 team in the country. So we are moving to the bottom of the 6th. Zion Taylor will be the pinch hitter for the designated hitter, Ethan Bosley.
Fans pinch hitting.
Zion Taylor from Atlanta, Georgia. He's a redshirt sophomore, 6'3", 185 pounds. Played high school baseball at Hope Christian Academy. He's going to face Brett Dowling here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's going to look at a called strike. Dowling came on in relief of Caden Johnson in the 5th inning. Johnson went 4 2/3 and gives up 4 runs on 4 hits. Plummer has moved to catcher, and Brady Nepper stays in the game. That pitch is fouled off to the left side. Nepper moves to second base.
Playing second base, number 3, Brady Nepper, moving from second base to catcher, number 6, Drew Plummer.
Zion Taylor batting for Bosley, who struck out twice. His only 2 plate appearances. Breaking pitch lined into right field. That'll get in for a base hit. 2 hops out to Bell, and Walter State has the go-ahead run standing on first base. Now the shortstop Curtis Reed steps to the plate.
Curtis Reed.
Square around the bunt is Reed. A nice bunt there as Dowling has to come off the mound and glove that one. So that is the situation, in fact, that you would lay down the bunt.
Right fielder, number 17, Nate Connor.
Faux bunting. Zion Taylor moves to second base. Nate Connor, 1 for 2 and an RBI, stands in from the left side. First pitch is high and outside. Again, Connor, see if he takes pitches here from Brett Dowling. That one catches the knees on the corner. Fouled off. That will catch the screen. Taylor out at second base has played in a number of games. 34, actually started 32 of them. Has not started in either of these two games. I'm guessing because he's a left-handed hitter. He must have been facing a lot of right-handed hitter or pitchers this year. 1-2 pitch is just down. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and go-ahead run on at second base. It's a 7-inning contest here in Game 1 of the doubleheader. Game 2 will start about 30 minutes after Game 1 concludes. We'll have a Full Count Ministries full count to Nate Connor with Miles Smith standing on deck. And a full count first pitch foul ball off the bat of Connor. Full count pitch coming from Brett Dowling is just outside. And puts runners at first and second. Does set up the double play opportunity, but first walk of the game by Dowling. He did hit a batter, first batter he faced. He's given up a couple hits.
Center fielder, number 1, Miles Smith.
Right now has only gone 2/3 of an inning. And he is in the jam here. Miles Smith steps to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. He's 0 for 3, a couple ground outs. Popped up to the right side, out of play. Pioneers would love to see another ground ball to the second baseman. Looking for a do-dat double play. Daniel Ortiz is standing on deck. Wonder if he's flashing back to yesterday. He was on deck, and similar situation, and Miles Smith reached on an infield single. Ortiz stepped up, hit a grand slam, and probably thinking about that situation again. Miles Smith looking at a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Pretty closed batting stance, as that front foot is farther toward first base than his back foot. Crouch position, and he's going to have to move his melon out of the way of that fastball. Vogley got plunked in the helmet in yesterday's game. Miles Smith close to picking up a hit batter there. Smith's only been hit twice this year. 15 strikeouts. Swings and misses there. Throw down to first base. It is 1 hop to Connor Paul, who makes the catch to keep everybody at the base they started. And we'll have a Full Count Ministries full count to Miles Smith, who has struck out once. That was Caden Johnson's first out of the ball game. Drew Plummer is your new catcher. Brady Nipper is the new second baseman. Popped up and out of play. Zach Zimmerly's still in left. Reggie Cooper in center. Stephen Bell in right. Walker Strange at third. Logan Molnar at short. As I said, Brady Nipper's at second. Connor Paul at first. Drew Plummer back behind the plate catching Brett Dowling. 4-4 ball game. It's not a typo, folks. Pioneers sticking to the number 16 team in the country. That one's in the dirt. Daniel Ortiz going to come to the plate late in the game again with the bases jammed. 2 straight walks out of the
third
dugout
baseman, number
comes
27, Daniel Ortiz.
Coach McGuire. This might be a defensive conversation. I don't know that he's coming out to get the baseball from Brett Dowling, as there's nobody loosening in the Vol State bullpen, and I haven't seen anybody loosening, so it's make or break with Brett Dowling here, and Denny Ortiz in this situation in the 7th inning of yesterday's ball game. Got to the plate. Came to the plate with nobody out, though. After a single by Curtis Reed, a walk by Nate Connor, and a infield single by Miles Smith. He hit a pitch to right field. I thought it was going to be a fly out or a deep fly ball to right field. It ended up getting out of here into the evergreens in right center field for a grand slam. The 11th home run of the year for the conference leader. Spelled Denial, D-E-N-I-A-L, but it's I-A-L, I-E-L, I'm sorry. They call him Daniel. I call him Daniel. That's how it's spelled. So Ortiz steps in. Conversation over. Maybe the first time this year I've seen Coach McGuire go out as Dowling delivers a fastball right down the plate that Ortiz misses. First time that I've seen Coach McGuire go out to the mound and not get the baseball from the pitcher. Dowling challenged Ortiz. That one up around his head there. Pioneers looking for 2 in the middle. Corners are in. Ground ball to first or third. They're going to come to the plate, but in the middle they're going to try to do that double play. 1-1 and the check swing. Ortiz just gets that one off the bat. He's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ortiz came in hitting .382. He has played and started in every game for Walter State. Delivered downstairs. And here comes the pitch of decision right here for Brett Dowling, because he doesn't want to get to a full count pitch. He wants to make it happen right here on 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 out, but you don't want to have to get into a situation where you have to throw the ball over the plate. Dowling delivers. Slider swung on and missed, and down goes Ortiz. So he's 1 out of 2 with the bases loaded.
Left fielder, number 13,
Dowling
Vogely.
gets his 2nd strikeout and a 2nd out. Huge strikeout there. Now Jack Vogely, who's 3 for 3, steps in. Single and 2 doubles. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Brett Dowling trying to get out of the bases loaded 1 out jam. Vogely looks at a pitch down in the turf, blocked by Plummer. Zion Taylor led off the inning with a single to right. Curtis Reed moved him over to second with a sac bunt. Nate Connor and Miles Smith then walked to load the bases. Ortiz struck out swinging, and Vogely looks at another slider that Plummer had to backhand. Couldn't get his body out in front of that one, so nice stop there by Drew Plummer in his first inning of work behind the plate. Got a start behind the plate at Roane State a couple weeks ago. Fouled off as Vogley reaches across the plate, trying to stripe one out to right field. Walters State has a few fanatics here, also known as fans. Nobody being unruly at all, though. Turn that crowd mic up, see if maybe you can hear. As Jack Vogley has just taken one in the side to get the go-ahead run across the plate on a hit by pitch. His first RBI, second hit batter by Dowling.
Second baseman, number 25, Logan Sutton.
And that will score Taylor. So Logan Sutton steps in. He's already been hit once by Dowling. And the bases are still loaded. Walters State leads 5-4. Seven-inning contest, and Walters State is just taking the lead here in the bottom of the sixth. But three big runners out there on the bases that All State doesn't want to see come across the plate. Catches the outside corner for a called strike. Jack McLaury gets out of the dugout and starts getting loose in the Pioneer bullpen. Sutton is 0 for 2. Does have an RBI and a ground out. He's going to get some RBIs on that smoked ball down to left field. That gets out of here for the second grand slam of the series for the Senators. And the Senators break it open. Now lead 9-4. Line drive. Fence back a little bit farther than 315 or 320 right there. It's going to hit off the wall, but just cleared. Home run
First baseman, number
Logan
28,
Sutton, his
Walker
7th of the
Morgan.
year, picks up. Now has 5 RBIs in the game. He's got 40 for the season. And Walters State gets another late game grand slam and another hit batter to Walker Morgan. So, breaking pitch. Does not break enough. And
The catcher, number 21, Jarrett Martin.
Not sure if McLaury is ready, and apparently he is. Jim McGuire is out of the dugout, and that will end the day for Brett Dowling. We'll take a break and tell you about McLaury when we return on the Ball State Sports Network.
Every day, all around the nation, people find themselves in need of a hero. Fire and emergency medical responders are those heroes we need. If you desire to make a difference in your community, visit ballstate.edu to learn more.
Have you ever wondered what happens when you click Buy It Now? A whole series of transactions take place, from the manufacturer to your front door.
That is logistics and supply chain management.
At Vol State, we offer end-to-end supply chain courses.
Going into the future, our students need to understand these processes.
A lot of business is dependent upon getting a product on time.
Students here at Vol State are able to leave here with that knowledge.
Because the supply chain
Is counting on me.
Tim Reese back on the Ball State Sports Network, where we have a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen. Jack McLaury on in relief of Brett Dowling. McLaury, a 6'1", 155-pound freshman from Las Casas, Tennessee. Played his high school baseball at Independence High School for his father, Mike, who is the head coach at Independence. His mother is Ashley McLaury. And a brother, Judd. Grandpa Mahoney and Grandma Deb in Iowa, and Mimi in Murfreesboro, and comes into the ball game here to face Jarrett Martin, the 9th batter, to come to the plate. Only 2 hits in the inning, but 5 runs have come across for Walters State. leadoff single. Couple walks, hit batter, and a grand slam home run by Logan Sutton. The big blow.
Once again, the catcher,
And then a hit
21, Jarrett
batter.
Martin.
The third hit batter of the game for Brett Dowling. Jarrett Martin steps in with one on and still one out. Glory gets his fastball in there for a called strike. I'm sorry, there are 2 outs in the inning. Martin gets his first at-bat of the game, hitting in the 6th hole. Carson Cabbage started the game, was pinch hit for by Keaton Ray, who struck out. Now Martin hitting in the 6th hole, ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Right now, the Toyota Gallatin player of the game is going to be a fight between Jack Vogley and Logan Sutton. Fouled off to Zion Taylor, who's standing on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner goes, pitch is down, throw is high, stolen base. Walker Morgan picks up his 5th stolen base in 6 attempts. And runner in scoring position with a full count. Ministries full count. Jack McGlory delivers. It's over the second baseman's head. Bell with a 1-hopper. The play at the plate is going to be in time to get the head first diving Walker Morgan. Ball was starting to die at the plate, but there's no chance that they get him if Connor Paul cuts that ball. And the last out is made at the plate by Walker Morgan. 9-2 put out, assist to Stephen Bell. Jarrett Martin gets the single, but the inning ends as 9 batters come to the plate. And Walter State scores 5 runs. They're earned on 2 hits. Big blow, the grand slam by Logan Sutton. No errors, no 1 runner left on base. We are headed to the final inning of this game unless the Pioneers can score 5 or more. 7th, 2 7-inning games. Head to the top of the 7th. Let's see who the Pioneers have coming up. 4, 5, and 6. See if we have a new pitcher out on the mound. I would guess so. Number 6, it looks like we're going to stay in the single digits the entire game for these pitchers. Number 6 is Rowan Park, freshman, redshirt, 6'1", 180 pounds from Marietta, Georgia, Walton High School. Rowan Park come on for Drew Horn, who now is in line to get the victory. He came on in relief of Ethan Walker. Let's see, you've got Rowan Parkus. Only 6 innings of work in 5 appearances prior to today. 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. 6.00 ERA. Not a save situation. As Drew Horn goes 2 1/3 innings. Gives up only 2 hits. That is not correct. There we go. 3 hits. Horn gives up 2 runs, neither of which were earned. walked 1, struck out 4. These are unofficial statistics, of course. Did not hit a batter, and he is in line.
The designated hitter, number 30, Cannon Lewis.
For his first win of the year. With the Pioneers, there's no time limit here. They can score 5 or more, and Cannon Lewis, it's a shot out to shortstop, but Reed Gloves throws on to first base. 1 pitch, 1 out. Cannon Lewis 1 for 4 on the day.
The first baseman, number 32,
Connor Paul steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on a catcher's interference. Paul had a base hit in his very first plate appearance of the series. Park delivers a fastball in there for a called strike. And has not delivered a base hit since. Got the only RBI in yesterday's game. Pioneers were tied 4-4 until that 5-run 6th inning. Walters can put a bunch on you in a hurry. There's a breaking pitch, catches the plate. On deck, Walker Strange, the third baseman for Fall State. Lady Pioneers playing doubleheader at Dyersburg State today, but big doubleheader today on campus. Swing and a miss. Connor Paul strikes out. Walter State is hosting Chattanooga State in softball here on campus. First and second place teams in the TCCAA.
Third baseman, number 17, Walker Strange.
Walker Strange steps in with nobody on and 2 out. Park delivers a strike. Strange drove in a run in the 5th. Rounds 1, 2 hops to Reed. Gloves throws over to Morgan to retire Walker Strange, and that will end the ball game. Walter State defeats the Pioneers 9-4.
Fan now, right now is
30
a good time
minutes
to visit.
after this game. So in about 30 minutes, the next game will begin, but we'll get to our Toyota of Gallatin stars of the game, or players of the game. We're going to have to go co-players like we did yesterday. Logan Sutton with the grand slam that put this game away. He ended up with 1 for 3 day with 5 RBIs. And Jack Vogley, he was 3 for 3, single and 2 doubles. He also had an RBI. He hit it the hard way, though. He got plunked in the middle of the back. He gets the game-winning RBI on the bases loaded, hit by a pitch in the middle of his back. So Jack Vogley and Logan Sutton are Toyota of Gallatin players of the game. Let's get to our Full Count Ministries verses of the game. Mimi sent up from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verses 7 and 8. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. That's our verse of the game coming from the Old Testament, and out of Hebrews 1, Corbin Overbay read chapters 1 through 5 this week, and this one came out of the first chapter, verse 14. Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? So you got angels out there ministering to you, folks. Just ask them. Those are your Full Count Ministry verses of the game. A ball game that went 2 hours and 26 minutes. 7-inning contest as Walter State wins their 31st game of the year. and they're 14th in conference. They're now 31-9 in 40 games, 14-3 in conference play. Vol State falls to 13-20 overall and 3-13 in conference action. On the scoreboard, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Pioneers, 9 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors showing on the scoreboard. Winning pitcher by my count is Drew Horn. He moves to 1-1 on the season. Losing pitcher is Brett Dowling. Dowling falls to 1-3 on the season. No save as Rowan Park came in with 5-run lead. And we will get to our alumni spotlight. We'll do 2 alumni spotlights next game on the broadcast, as we have another 7-inning game as Walter State will look to get the sweep. Vol State will try to get 1 out of the 3 games. So we'll be back in about 20-25 minutes. Thanks for joining me on Game 1. We'll be back on the Vol State Sports Network.